30 years old, but still hate being alone when I'm home. Because that's when the voices get the loudest. Opening up like this is a moment far from my proudest. And these demons... Sorry, step away for a second. These demons keep pressing me, I swear they're the foulest. But I've grown comfortable with their presence, my conscience is callous. My dreams are their playground, my thoughts are their palace. I try to evict them, but they return with more. Anxiety isn't an item you can return at the store. I was him the first time I had a panic attack. It was like a punch to the stomach, there's no plan for that. And I didn't want to tell anyone because I was too scared about what they say. And I knew deep down there was nothing they could do to take it away. It was my fight to fight and my battle to face. I remember that house I grew up in and how those demons would rattle that place. I'd lay awake at night just staring at the ceiling. I spent my whole life trying to run from that feeling of being lonely, that feeling of being lost, that feeling of being sick when the lights turn off, that feeling of being depressed, that feeling of being anxious, that feeling of screaming to God, begging Him to take this, only to get silence in return. I'd lay in that bed crying and I toss and I turn. And I turn and I toss to this day. The doctors gave me medication, the pastor says pray. I tried both and this anxiety still hasn't gone away. So forgive me if I fantasize about being gone today. I'm an actor who got really good at being on today. But if I turn off, I go right back into the shadows. I'm in the deep end now, but I started in the shallows. I might just drown myself in these waves. Suburban hell, these homes are all graves. Everyone's coping with something but won't admit it, they're all too afraid. These kids are glued to watching me like, what do I say? If I'm honest with them, maybe they won't think highly of me. Everything they want me to be is what I'm dying to be. But everything I really am is what I'm not trying to be. I want them to know that they're not alone in their struggles. I wake up in tears and fall back to sleep with those puddles. And I don't think I could ever get out of this valley. I've been terrified that all along God has tallied my sins. And if He has, then the number must be astronomical. My life is a joke and you keep reading it just past the comic. Because everything you think that I am is far from the truth. I wish I could open up to you and just let loose. When my vocal cords get tight, when the devil pulls on this noose, and then I'm back to keeping everything bottled up inside. But He's not going to keep me from pulling the throttle back this time. He's not going to keep me trapped like this. I can't get out of bed. I was never made to act like this. I'm packing up my bags and I'm packing up my bags and He can't stop me from running fast like this. I'm not going to be a slave of these voices of anxiety. I'm shoving the devil back for every time that he's lied to me. I'm taking a belt to these demons who whisper despair in my ear. And I'm ignoring every naysayer who stands and stares when I'm near. I'm moving forward out of this slump. I took my bruises, I took my lumps. I fell down, but I got right back up. So give me a torch and let's light that up. I'm setting fire to the devil. I'm dousing these demons in gasoline. Look at you now. Now you're not laughing at me. Now who's the one who's being tortured and pumped? Now who's the one closing every door that I want? Now who's the one watching everyone burn to the ground? Don't turn away from me, you better turn back around. I'm not done talking to you now. I'm watching you move. I'm on your back and I'm stalking you too. And when you try to ruin some other kid's life, I'll be stopping you too. You took 30 years of my life and I can't get that back. You told me to end my life and I nearly got killed for that. You took me down but I bounced right back. I was lost then, but now I'm found like that. Everything you told me I wasn't, someone new told me I was. And everything you handed to me, someone new told me He loves. And when you tried to kill me with depression and anxiety, He reached in to play hope deep inside of me. So I'm done listening to you and letting you control me. I'm announcing it now that the devil can't hold me. I'm walking away from the old me. And I'm demanding a refund on every lie that you sold me. I know, or you knew I'd find a way out sooner or later. And I found my escape in the form of a Savior. In Luke 12:22 through 26, it says,